Alright, viewers, we're going to be joining you for at least one more ride in the Lost Castle.
We're pimping our Lost Castle ride here. Let's see what kind of exciting new stuff appears now that new items were definitely unlocked.
Explosive Nova, we'll go ahead and pick that up.
So the trials would be...
The daily trial,
double
the daily
attack
challenge. Of treasure hunters and monsters. Your health total will decrease by 50% when leaving the room, increase by...
Yeah, first one's kind of potentially interesting, second one not so much. I guess if I was still off screening for levels, that would be a way to grab them. But...
Weaken all the demons in the castle. I can remove the magic if you'd like to challenge yourself. Toggle nightmare mode.
Yeah, no, I think that's it. I think if we don't do that, it's just a regular old play the game vanilla again.
Nightmare mode it is.
Where did they come up with the idea of having the second difficulty be called Nightmare?
I don't know, JJ. So yeah, JJ and I wanted to take some time to wind down from the run that we just had. Talk about it. We definitely had good luck in that run, from the items that we found to the side passages that we found without your Sixth Sense, which I never saw trigger it at all at any point during that run.
Never seemed to happen.
No.
It's possible it triggered and we didn't notice, but I really just feel like we didn't get any luck with it this time.
The carnivore that I found right before the main fights there at the end doubled my drumstick healing, which allowed me to stay up even in the hiccuping. That staff of healing right after the dragon fight allowed us to stay topped up at health before we moved on with the demon fight.
I don't think your final weapon maybe was as strong as the one you had in our run where we got to that boss and didn't quite clear it. But like overall, we had better weapon drops. We had which I never played with, and I'm kicking myself now. You got the one that spawns those little Audreys from Little Shop of Horrors, and those things were damn useful.
They had over 100 hit points. They dealt like 30-ish damage to those skeletons. They did great.
So by the time we got to the point where better weapons than that dropped, we had a backload of healing items. We'd gotten nice passive buffs. Like, it's pretty fortunate overall. What does this guy say? Let's be with you, treasure hunter. Okay.
Yeah, that's the guy who got defeated.
Beat up by the guy.
Yep, the guy.
Who wants to be that guy?
Yeah, I really enjoyed the weaponry. It was nice after all the time playing this game to feel powerful, and we kicked ass. And neither of us went down at all. That was an immortal run. Yeah.
Like, I was frankly just a little disappointed that when we kind of start this new run, it was like new weapons, new nothing. I was like, because you get into the mindset of those I don't know what's not the roguelike, but those hardcore games where it's like one death and your character's permadead. Like, we would have been justified in carrying all of our shit over to a new run because we actually did it right.
Yeah, until we got killed right there, one hit KO'd by the bastard who needed us to down the Demon King. Grab this banana too.
This is spot.
Alright, so nightmare mode, baby.
It means one guy's got sunglasses on. Well, I certainly took a lot of damage from that one hit.
I just saw my vampiric ability trigger. Ow, was hit twice. It's 37 HP each. That melee combo is gonna get my damn ass killed. The slow swinging weapon.
Yeah, I don't want to know what getting hit by one of those feels like on Nightmare. Probably not too good.
I would enjoy it if there were like different zones or new zones instead of the same zones.
And that's really like without you and Bobo years ago. I keep going back to it. Our old Diablo, I wouldn't have been into Nightmare in Hell without like the company, because it really is just the same, but everything hits harder. And that game had more stuff going on with elemental immunities, blah, blah, blah. I don't know that this game has much to tinker with other than you do less damage, they do more.
Also, an immortal run, this is not.
No, we've already established that. Let him keep doing his thing.
Yep.
Oh, look, the feet triggered.
The thing that gave us occasionally 2 chests at the end of a zone instead of 1, that was beautiful, too.
Yeah, that was nice.
Oh, hey, your footprints!
The footprints finally triggered. Yeah. I feel like, oh, that was a great level up
choice
I made.
What the fuck is that?
Yeah, that's the guy that did so much damage to me before.
He's like a souped-up
so
berserker.
Be a new frenzied version of an old enemy.
I'm at 4 HP. Hot. Oh good, we came into this room for that bastard. Captain Ripoff back there. Wow. Yeah, I'd have to get adjusted to how much damage these guys do.
Hunter.
Plus 20% critical and your HP is below 25%. Will that happen?
Which is what life is going to be like on this run. So I'll get to you. I'll get there. Welcome, welcome. I have amazing hardcore prices. 30 coins instead of 20, because it's Nightmare. Okay, that is not a thing. Resist damage from behind. For the best surprises, always sneak up front. Yeah, this is markedly more difficult already. So we haven't, like, that frenzied, like, purple mask version of those guys. It's just kind of, it's not a new enemy, but it's definitely a step up in difficulty.
Our weapons also were not ultra exciting coming into this either. I swing so slow.
Yeah. Like, I feel like we could certainly get good enough at this game to handle Nightmare with time. Who knows, maybe we get good weapon drops here in the next room or two, and then suddenly get a lot more powerful.
Power. Defense +2.
You get to do power.
HP heal.
I really don't want to get hit by a bomb guy on this difficulty either.
Here he comes!
Pain.
I miss my stuff.
Yeah. I'm not even, like, worried about charging up my special because I know it's not that useful. And it just keeps me exposed a lot longer, like there.
These dumbasses.
I almost went up to that thing to see if there were apples under it by, like, smashing it right up close. Bah! You know, you could at least do like the Warriors, where the higher difficulty level, suddenly you're playing as the Baseball Furies. You have all the same voice acting and stuff. You're just dressed as the Baseball Furies. That's, I think, what would improve this game if we were the Baseball Furies.
Okay. You can do it, buddy. I believe in you. You can make it. There you go.
Woo! I did it, ma.
Now, what if you want to come back?
Why would I need to come back when I've got you over there swinging at enemies that are running towards you for some stupid reason?
I think it's because they're trying to get behind you. That's something that the AI likes to do in this game, get behind you.
Get thee behind me, AI.
Don't mind me. I'm just crossing over without triggering the spikes at all. Come here, you son of a bitch. Don't play that in my face. So, the games I pointed out to you, and you wanted to play this one, say that you had a decent suggestion. It was a rough... I don't know whether it was a rough start so much as a rough middle. As in, like, But the times I got most tedious of this game was having to go through Bramble Courtyard every time we died.
Right. That did not change. Like, good weapons didn't make that more fun. It just made the pain last a little less long.
Thank you for allowing us to watch these cutscenes again.
Oh, this might be our last chance. King of Goblin. And that was not the thing I meant to do. Oh. Some of the really nasty guys are now coming after us, too.
Why is it not scrolling to properly show me?
Yeah, I think I'm done. In just a second, yep.
Good. Good. Good, I'm glad this is a reality. Good.
You got a nice room clearer weapon there if you weren't also getting bombarded.
Yeah, all of you can go join him.
Interested to see if my corpse can even be recovered now.
It can't be. Damn it. I didn't want to... Well, it doesn't matter what I wanted or what I didn't want. I'll tell you what is happening. Me getting Me getting stabbed in the back. Nightmare, baby!
Well, I mean, that was clearly more difficult. And it's got some, like, weird Indian, like, sitar music that I don't remember having heard before. The Goblin King might be a Maharaja.
Yes, we even have the rune now, the Mark of Nightmare. The Mark of having cleared. Next to our names.
What are you going to do with your 24 souls, Grimith?
Save them. You can't save all 55 of yours.
That's true. I am over the limit.
Aha! So things I dislike about this game. Skills not working as they're written they will work.
I don't know. Do we know what country the programmers are from? Like if they're native English speakers? Because there was definitely a little bit of weirdness going on there.
No, I don't know. I didn't do any research involving that, JJ.
Right,
I'm not even the one who even bought the game.
Well, I mean, I figured I bought the game. Therefore, you were obligated to do extensive research. Wasn't that part of the agreement?
Well, I'm glad you brought up this point now, after all the time. Other things I dislike about this game. A rough bit at the start. Things still deal a lot of damage, even when you're advanced later in the game. All weapons most certainly aren't made equal, and heavier weapons, at least in our experience, have a much rougher time of it with their slower speeds.
Yeah. I don't really find any of those things to be
Get up here.
Problems.
Get up here. Get up here.
Oh, I thought we were just talking about the game now.
We can still talk about the game while admiring a better room. Oh, there's your so.
Which we found out this is a damn good starting weapon, as we now know. But yeah, like some weapons are better than others. Yeah, and it takes a little bit of play to figure out which ones suit your style. Although I think some are just objectively better than others. I don't have a problem with the fact that enemies are still dangerous when you're powerful, as long as I think the problem becomes the tedium of fighting through the enemies who aren't dangerous until you get to the ones that are.
And tedium itself can end up, like, dooming you as you go, whatever, you're not interested in those guys, then you get wrecked by things you shouldn't be.
Highway hypnosis, and then you're suddenly in trouble. I think, like, for me, the base requirement of a game is I feel like playing it through the default difficulty, and if I love it, I can play with it some more, and if I don't, hey, if I got through the entire default difficulty without getting bored enough that I wanted to put it down, then, you know, unless it's like some AAA game that costs $70, that's pretty good.
The dullness
of
the dullness of Bramble Courtyard also weighs on me. That zone is just different from all the others, and not in a positive way.
Yeah.
It's not just the danger of the enemies; it's just the fact that, like, I don't know. There's no, like, side paths, unless there are side paths.
It's weird, like, that shouldn't matter from a gameplay perspective, but it does. It makes a huge difference that, like, there's no sense that, oh, I could have gone a different way and gotten more cool stuff. Like, that just doesn't exist in Bramble Courtyard. Might do significantly better.
I think
with
those guys definitely attack quicker on this difficulty.
Yeah.
Wasn't used to that speed. I'm gonna go ahead and get downed. I said I'm gonna go ahead and get downed. Of course, that doesn't.
You gotta get up to get down.
Of course, you're right. Why didn't I think of that? $50 damage to the goblin. That's nice.
Well, then again, I don't know how many hit points it has on this difficulty level.
I presume the
how many
same.
it had on the last one. But I should not have triggered them. I should have let you die, and then...
Well, we're in this world now.
That's why they call it Nightmare, folks.
There. I took a hit for the plant.
You're tanking for our tank. But yeah, Bramble Courtyard, like, there's some things that are pretty apparent, like the enemies were annoying. The music got really overheated after a while. Some of it's more intangible, like it's just really, you get used to having different paths to potentially explore. The notion that maybe you'll find something cool doesn't exist in Bramble Courtyard. It just kind of sucks. I think if like half the game was like that and half the game was like exploration, I don't know that I would have had the patience to go even once through the default difficulty. But we bought it with the idea that it was kind of had roguelike elements, but it was basically a brawler, and I think it was faithful to that.
Yeah.
Because, you know, you think back to Streets of Rage and stuff, like, exciting exploration and side paths wasn't really a part of it, so... I guess what I'm saying is it's better than a 30-year-old NES game.
Well, it's a good thing Streets of Rage, the game you compared it to, isn't a 30-year-old NES game.
How old is it?
It's a Sega Genesis game.
Oh, well, whatever.
How dare you, whatever that? It's not whatever. It's an entirely different system. Sega Genesis has blast processing, you son of a pig.
That's true. That changed everything.
Seed of evil. Oh, I see your special steps.
My special steps. My fatal steps. That was from River City Ransom, which was, of course, a 25-year-old Super Genesis game. Super Genesis isn't even a system. Now I'm making up systems.
All of the energy and luck was used in the first try.
It was the TurboGrafx 32, wasn't that a thing?
The Atari Panther.
The Ultra Nintendo?
Oh, I got you a Lancer achievement.
That's about the size of it.
Enemy diversity is alright. There's a lot of things that I'm like, well, that guy's bullshit.
That's, yeah, I mean, it kind of, they wait a little bit. Like, I think there's some patterns in the last levels. The last levels is where I think the game starts to really shine. They definitely, that last stage is a good blend between you feeling threatened by the enemies and feeling powerful enough to fight them.
Is your worst zone for, like, enemy types the Secret Path, the third stage? With, like, the Cyclops
yeah,
and everything?
I think I had problems with the Cyclops guys, particularly when I was running it solo off-screen, as it were. They kind of overwhelmed me pretty quick with ranged guys, fast-moving guys, a lot of hit points. I think there's just a game balance issue. Like, by the time you get through that, you've picked up some pretty good gear that really helps you. But getting there straight after Bramble Courtyard, you might not have a whole lot going on.
That ability again. Well, it's a good thing you picked that up, because I know how often you stay at full HP.
All right, Mister, I need to be revived multiple times in this video.
This was a worthwhile room to go in.
Yeah.
I'm just merely pointing out who's at full HP right now and who's not.
Okay, well, I need to take that. Hey, I'm gonna die, so revive me strat more often. I like how quickly the team that was victorious like 30 minutes ago and clearing the game is already turning on each other in nightmare mode. Didn't take long.
Act 3 all over again. What the? Stupid cannon.
One thing I will say for this game that is fucking Diablo 2 and the enemies where you gotta find the one guy who revives all the others. This game didn't have that mechanic, and that mechanic gets old fast.
Well, you have enemies that create new guys, but you get benefits from killing them too.
Right.
A drumstick for you.
And they don't show up that much. It shows up sometimes.
I'm full on
but
items.
It's not like every area has one of those, you know? Step.
Yeah, my least favorite area is definitely Bramble Courtyard. I dislike the enemies there the most, as well as the zone. Those fucking trees, these artillery trees, are my least favorite enemy of the entire game.
I mean, there are guys like the there's the dragon, bone dragons, which we eventually figured out a good strategy for, which is just dogpile them. Don't let them hang out. But we never found out a way to kill the trees that wasn't ultra tedious.
The slimes are multicolored. Uh-oh.
Oh, I wonder if there's something different about the purpley ones.
I don't know. There's multiples.
Maybe in nightmare mode you can eventually have purpley slime buddies.
That would be really living the dream for sure. Here you were worried about us making a lot of progress and taking too long.
Yeah, silly me.
We're not good enough at this game for that.
Apparently there's new content if you count like the final enemy having new dialogue through 5 playthroughs of this game. I enjoyed my one full playthrough of the game with you, Grimith. I feel like one full playthrough of the game was my money's worth and don't feel the need to squeeze a whole lot more out.
We'll leave it for you intrepid adventurers who will invest the time and focus to be better at this game, or perhaps are naturally, with your talents and attributes, better at this game already than the skills we have built.
And I'm sure that you're morally superior beings as well, but I think a good way to go out is the sound of the slime boss, because I never noticed before just how much fun he has wandering back and forth, glooping over your corpses.
What was your most favorite boss of all the time that we played this game?
Let me think. Once we figured out once we got there strong enough to actually put in a little time, learn his patterns, the final boss was actually pretty cool. Like the variety of things he was doing. But the easiest boss, as far as the one I wanted to see, was that like floating knight guy, because he just really didn't seem to have a whole lot going on. But Cyclops guy was kind of fun too. Like kicked our ass a couple of times, and we finally got to the point where we could beat him, and it was satisfying. It felt like you had gotten better and had earned the victory. And then, of course, you showed up wielding a Christmas tree later, which was extra fun.
that was endearing. Like my most favorite one, the one I'm gonna remember the most coming out of this, is going to be that damn Cyclops King. But honorable mention goes to the puppy. That is so damn adorable.
Yeah. He was fun. And as far as like other people's memories of us, the fact that both of us at separate times jumped right into the face of the giant Audrey Jr. plant and just fucking died, like finger poke distance away from this boss that can't move. I think that was kind of amusing in its own special way.
I think one of us did that out of necessity, and one of us did that because fuck it.
Well, either way, we cleared the game without ever I beat that off screen soloing, But and in some ways it's easier. Like I think it was spawning less stuff and there was only one player. But we beat the entire game without ever actually beating that damn boss, which I think is fun. It means that that boss will always have one over us. So
Don't put things like that. No. You're
don't put that
stupid.
in your head.
No,
Is it gonna bother you?
No. You bother me. And on that note,
Well.
everyone, thank you all for joining. Why the fuck would I thank you? Man, God, been fucking hanging around with JG too long. All of you, go fuck yourselves. We're out
I
of
hope
here.
you guys enjoy the last thing we ever do together because I have apparently pissed off Grimith beyond all redemption.
This
For
conversation,
me and my friend, Kid, good night.
and this game and this relationship are over.
All I can say is.